Osseo High School for CCX Sports coverage of Northwest Suburban Conference Boys Volleyball. It's the Park Center Pirates making the short trip over here to take on their district rival Osseo. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Tyler Oman. And Tyler, obviously first season of varsity volleyball for both of these programs. And both of them have had kind of similar seasons, 6 wins along the way, making some progress. You've got some people who are fairly new to the sport, others who have played for a long time, and they're just kind of gelling together and getting better week by week.
Yeah, both teams very similar, kind of a hodgepodge of players, and some who have more experience, some who don't. And that's kind of what both these teams' strengths are going to be, is that they've got a lot of versatility. They got a lot of good athletes on the team. They maybe don't have the most size, but they can make up for that on defense and aggressiveness, and that's what you're going to see tonight, I think.
And as in many sports, these two schools, when they get together, there are a lot of kids who really know each other. It makes it for a competitive night, but also a fun night when you see people on the other side of the net that you know pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the best way to be competitive is to have a friend or family member on the other side, and you really want to have some bragging rights on them. So that's, I think, what is going to be a big motivating factor for both teams tonight.
I think in this sport, as much or as more as any, too, that, you know, getting more court time together, and you're seeing the teams get better in that regard, I think, too. Just knowing what to expect from a teammate, how your setter functions with your hitters, and I look forward to seeing that part of the growth from day one till now, too.
Yeah, definitely. A good point on the setter connections. That's a big part about this season. You know, all season long, you're kind of looking to get better and better and better, and a lot of that comes through your setter and your hitter connections. And I think as the season goes, and we're kind of getting close to the end here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some really gelling connections with the offense tonight for both teams.
And Michelle Chen, the Park Center head coach, was saying that they got a lot of really tough teams in their conference, but the section maybe isn't quite as tough. So there's some hope of being able to do some things in the playoffs, too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it just takes a couple upsets, maybe one, and then leads to another, and you can go on a roll, and all of a sudden you find yourself in the state tournament.
All right, these teams getting set for battle here tonight. A good rivalry match in this very first season of varsity boys volleyball. Park Center and Osseo coming at you next here on CCX Sports. And welcome back here to Osseo. A little warm in the gym tonight. We've had some warm weather this week, but these teams pumped up and ready to go. Osseo coming off a victory. They broke a losing streak by beating St. Cloud Tech here the other night. And meanwhile, Park Center, they faced some of the kind of the tougher conference teams early on. And so their record has gotten better, partly because of who they played too. But you know, that makes you stronger to play some of those better teams. You just get used to a faster tempo and having to play defense and everything, I think. So it ultimately helped you.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt to be battle tested and ready for the next step.
I think for these teams too, you know, part of it becoming a new varsity experience and depending on how old they are too, getting used to playing in front of crowds and everything is, you know, something that you kind of forget about. But that's a little bit of it too. You know, you want to be pumped up, but you don't want to be so pumped up that you're spraying and everything too long and, you know, overcompensating, doing things outside of what you're, you know, capable of.
Exactly. You got to keep those emotions under control. And like we said, a lot of these guys know each other tonight and want to make sure they're ready to go.
Titus Lee serving for Park Center, and we are underway. Near collision there, but the Pirates do get the ball up. Lee sending it right side, but that one dug by James Vang. Great effort to get to it for Austin Koo. Adjustment made there by Alec Zhang. Good long rally to start it out here. And the block recorded there for PC by Alan Intanabon. Now, Titus Lee, who's serving, we may not see him all evening. Soccer has been kind of his main sport, and Coach Chen was telling me he has a soccer game tonight, so how long he'll be there, they're not sure, but he's going to at least try and play through the first set.
That's a busy athlete right there.
Cross court, but wide. Good swing by Lex Yang, but he cut it too sharp cross court. And Lee just missing with that one as he went for the corner. Lex Yang to serve here for Osseo. Now gets the go-ahead after they complete their substitution. A lot on that one. And free ball sent over is too long. Good communication by Osseo there. I thought for a moment that Yang was going to play that one, but wisely backed off. Ooh, just too long. A lot of pace on that serve, but good eyes by Park Center to let that one go.
Yeah, you never want to miss, but that's as good as a miss as you can get. Aggressive, low to the net, but just barely out of bounds.
Alex Zhang to serve here for Park Center. Good pass to start it out for Osseo, but then it looked like a little indecision there for Nicholas Yang Bang as he tried to adjust in air there. Ooh, good serve there, and that's an ace. Raylan Tao trying to get to it and get that hand underneath, but couldn't do it. 5-2 Pirates.
Yeah, good aggressive serve. A lot of topspin, really bringing that ball back down to the floor and just dove right in front of him.
And that time missed, trying to go sideline with it. So that's one thing that I think you guys have to realize too as you look there at Rachel O'Neill, who is kind of not officially the head coach, but is sort of their on-court head coach. As we'll get into that more in a moment. But so big swing and off the block. Pirates get it back. I'm going to say the guys are learning along the way too that part of this sport, or a big part of this sport, is making fewer mistakes than your opponent too. It isn't all about who's, getting clean kills and all that. It's limiting your miscues on your side of the net.
Exactly. A lot of times you look at the box score, and whoever commits the fewest errors often ends up on top.
And that one will end up just wide. Pirates got the block up in time, but didn't get their hands turned in. So Osseo trailing 6-4 as they'll get to serve. And Richard Tao to serve. Resetting it there right side for Chang. Lee, a nice dig on that ball. And put away nicely there by Brennan Tadros.
Probably the best swing we've seen so far. Really did a good job getting on top of the ball and setting it down.
Yeah, and he's been their kill leader this year. Made really good progress according to Coach Perkins. Left hand tip there by Calvin Fang. Lee the dig, and they do keep it alive. Not panicking there. Orioles will get another crack at it. Gonna come right side this time. And wiped off the block there by Jackson Hardy. We're even at 6. Just up a little bit late, couldn't get that block closed. Set it back row, and Zhang kind of lost his concentration there. So the Orioles surge into the lead with 3 straight here.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of back and forth tonight.
That serve will be too strong. Yeah, you got to have a short memory. Runs happen in this sport. You know, you're maybe never as good as the as the run you're putting together, and you're never as bad as it feels like when the other team's rolling a little bit.
Yeah, you don't want to get too ahead of yourself, positive or negative. Everything is just 1 point at a time.
There's Stephen Perkins, the Osseo head coach, but as he was telling us, kind of functions like a general manager a little bit, overseeing a lot of the administrative stuff, and Rachel does a lot of the on-court coaching. And this ball off the antenna, not blocked. Instead, it was off the antenna, so it's Osseo's point. Jaden Vang in to serve. Another look at this last one there. Or actually, not the antenna, just off the tape.
The block, yeah.
Vang's serve is just wide. So we are evened up at 8 apiece. Serving now for PC is Long Lee. Does have 14 aces on the season. One of their leading figures. That time Hardy not able to get it done as Park Center back in front. Play deep to the corner, and Lee digs it up. Tipped over the block, but Pirates good court coverage there. And that one again into the tape from Jackson Hardy, so Pirates will score again. Now it's their turn to go on a little run. They lead 10-8. Set it for Mikey Williams, and he hammers it. He's been an interesting story that we're seeing at some schools too that didn't really have a background in volleyball, but it played some basketball. You see he's a big guy, and if you stick to the basics and don't try to do too much, he's tough to contend with.
Yeah, exactly. He kept it simple there and still put a good hammer on that ball.
Lee setting it there and put away by Alex Zhang. It looked like there was a chance that ball was going to be out, but it got on Vang in a hurry, and he elected to play it.
I think there might have been a ball off the ball might have gone off the block too. It's a tough one to go. You just got to commit to it at a certain point and hope for the best.
Handled well by Vang, but then a misfire by Lex Yang. Park Center on a pretty good roll here again as they lead it 11-9. Austin Koo serving.
A little indecisive on the ref there.
Boy, Park Center was stopping, and all of a sudden they realized, oh, maybe it's still going, and we're going to see. And then you get the ball handling error there on send one of the players over to discuss this. And
I think what Osseo's looking for here is they're saying that the first touch was actually a block, which doesn't count towards their team contact. So they're trying to get the call reversed so that way that ball wasn't called a double contact.
And they have succeeded at least in getting them to talk about it.
Exactly. Hey, that's a win in itself sometimes. I think they maybe, if they are able to get this overturned, they might catch a break there. 'Cause I think they may have been in the net after that. So we'll see what happens here.
See if it'll be a replay, perhaps. Yes. So no point for Park Center. They're going to replay that point.
I think Park Center is going to want an explanation on this one.
I don't know that she'd actually say it, but I'm sure in Michelle Chen's head she's thinking a little bit, did they talk you into that one?
Yeah.
And then a service error, so Koo's momentum may be broken up a little bit by the stoppage there too.
Definitely plays a factor. You know, you talk a lot about icing the kicker in football. This is kind of a similar situation sometimes here in volleyball. You see a lot of timeouts before serves, and sometimes just getting the refs to talk is another way to do that.
James Vang to serve here for the Orioles. And that'll be too long as Long Lee went for the corner. Not a real good first pass. It put Lee in a tough spot trying to set that ball. This time better. And it leads to a kill for Alec Zhang. He had 77 kills, easily their top figure coming in. And we see why right there.
Yeah, early on in the match, I think we saw him struggling with his timing a little bit, but right there it was perfect.
Titus Lee, the serve here for PC. And nicely done. Went right side, Lex Yang puts that one in a perfect spot. Orioles back to within one. That's going to be too long for Yang. You kind of touched on it earlier. If you're going to serve out, you want to at least make it, the defense make a decision. That one was too easy.
Right out of his hand. The defense, the receiving team knew, hey, that one's going to go out.
Alec Zhang serves for the Pirates, and he returns the favor, trying to be aggressive, but hits the tape instead. Marian's Tao to serve here, trying to tie things up for the Orioles. We've stayed tight throughout this opening set. Lee disguised that one well, and Chang puts it away.
Yeah, good run on Park Center there. Also a great spot to hit the ball. You're going to be successful more often than not when you can hit the ball hard into the corners. That's exactly what he did right there.
They've got a couple lefties, too, that I think kind of catch some people off guard at times. I saw them earlier in the season, and it was kind of the same in that match. Was there a touch on this ball? I don't think so. Nope, just out.
No, you make a good point, though, you know, especially if you're not used to seeing a lot of left-handed players. You're used to, as a blocker, you're used to seeing lining up on the guy's right shoulder, and then all of a sudden, he's coming from the other side.
Ooh, strong hit there, and then the next one, though, is out.
They got a touch on that.
They got a touch on that one, yep. So it will be Osseo's point. Good attack by Tadros. Pirates just had to fight it off. Yeah, definitely. Definitely Chang got his hand on that one. Richard Tao the serve. And score the point for Osseo. Pass into the net. Lee, that was a difficult one to do anything with.
Yeah, that was a tight ball in front of a big block, and you see exactly what happens when you hit the ball hard off of that.
Chance to tie it up again here for Osseo as Richard Tao serving. And too long. So Peyton Zhang back to the service line here for Park Center. The Pirates have led most of the way, not entirely, but never by much of a margin. They're up by 2 right now. And that's an ace. Whew. Great serve there. That was one where Osseo was just hoping it might be out because they weren't going to get it. Timeout Orioles. Yeah, clearly in with some room to spare there.
Maybe some miscommunication on the receiving team too. So far, I think Park Center has really done a good job offensively. A lot of their attacks have gone deeper where Osseo struggled offensively. It's just kind of been a lot of balls more so in the net. And the points they have won haven't been necessarily a clean kill, but one of them that's been off the block or off a dig and out of bounds, where Park Center's done a better job so far of defense. They're reading the attacks pretty well, and that's kind of making the difference, I think, so far.
Both teams have been good at times at the service line and then not so good. Probably a few more errors than you'd like to see, certainly, but I don't know. Then again, if you're getting every serve in, it probably means you're not being aggressive enough, too. So it's that fine line.
You know, the higher level volleyball you get, the more important aggressive serving is, and the serve out is going to hurt you, but you don't want to, overdo it and serve everything out. So it's finding that balance.
Peyton Zhang back at the service line. See if he can keep the momentum after that timeout. His last serve was a great one. This time handled much better as Tao gets it up. And then put away by Brennan Tadros.
Really nice swing there on the right side. Was able to get some good extension on it, contact the ball high, and just kind of hit it over the top of the block and down.
Jaden Vang serving for Osseo. Lee will leave it back there for Zhang. Off the block, Lee recovers and fell over his teammate, but they get it over. Strong block thrown up there. This time they'll tip over it, see if the Pirates can take advantage. Pirates might have gotten a break there. It didn't look like very clean contact by Koo. And off the block, and Yang with the kill for the Orioles. Kind of an emotional point there, a long rally.
Yeah, probably the best rally of the match so far. Back and forth, both teams had their chances. Park Center had 3 kids on the ground at the same time. You don't see that very often.
Feels like a momentum point. Oh, that serve's going to be too long, though.
Feels like a lot of their Osseo misses have been within 3 feet of the end line, but just a little bit too deep. So it might be a good adjustment that they can make collectively as a team, because it seems like a lot of their misses have just been around the same area.
Long Lee serving here for the Pirates. And the block is just out. They timed it up well, but didn't turn it into the court. And so Hardy will score for the Orioles. They are within 1 again. Braylon Tao serving. And nice little roll shot there by Alex Zhang. Had the defense fooled.
That was a really great roll shot. Just barely out of the reach of the blockers, and the defense just had no chance behind them.
Pirates are first to 20 here. They lead 20-18 in this opening set. Took enough off that one to keep it away from the back row, too. Whoa, that one was way too long from Koo.
Just a bit outside on that.
Yeah. James Vang to serve for Osseo. They trail it by a point. tip perhaps there, but Long Lee will score it for the Pirates, and they're back up by 2.
Yeah, if you're Rachel O'Neill, you probably don't want to see that ball landing between 3 players right in the middle of the court. That's got to be something you got to all crash in there and make sure it does not hit the floor on your side.
Titus Lee serving for PC. Cross court, but too strong there from Lex Yang.
Might be close to a timeout. Yep, we Osseo timeout here.
Pirates have stretched the lead to 3, and not too much room for error anymore for Osseo here, as the Pirates within 3 points of trying to close out this opening set. Yeah, and you hit it on the head. I think they've just been a little bit more consistent with their attack. Few less errors all along the way.
Yeah, and I think Osseo too has been aggressive. I want to give credit where credit is due. They haven't tried to just keep the ball in for the sake of keeping it in for the most part. They've been aggressive. It just hasn't quite worked out yet. They offensively, they've had a few in the net, had a few deep, and from the serving line, they've had a few that's gone deep. Maybe a few more than Park Center, but it's been a competitive match so far. And I really like this timeout here too. I don't want to let my team get down to 23 or 24 and then have to try and battle back with 1 point buffer window to work with. So I like taking the timeout here at 22-19 and giving your team a chance to get back to 22-20 right out of the timeout.
And to a certain extent, to me, it feels like it's kind of good news for Osseo that they really haven't played that well, but yet they're still right there. So if they, kind of clean up a few things, they could be flipping the score around.
I think that's maybe a lot what O'Neill said in that timeout.
Cross court with it there was Yang Bang, and that one put away by the lefty Chang. Pirates now up by 4. Keep in mind the server here, Titus Lee, at some point most likely is going to be leaving the gym, and he's certainly one of their key performers. I mentioned earlier apparently has a soccer game tonight that he needs to be at as well.
Definitely a developing situation.
He gets a nice pass up there. The tip, but read well by Koo. That one off the block and score it for Alex Zhang. And now the Pirates, to within a point, have taken this first set. Lee showing not just his skill, but his smarts on that point really too. First try blocked, and they go with the setter dump, but it's knocked over for the point by Intanabong. And Park Center will pull away to take the opening set. 25-19 Pirates as they close strong in set number 1. We'll be back with our second set here on CCX. It's Park Center and Osseo boys volleyball.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back here to Osseo High School. The Park Center Pirates pulling out the first set 25-19. It was tight all the way, but then they closed strong and finished it off. So they are looking to build on that. Osseo trying to come back and kind of clean up some errors a little bit and see what they can do here in the second set.
Yeah, and a little bit of an update. Titus Lee is still here, so we'll see how long that lasts. But at the moment, he's on the court and still active.
It's a tough thing when you're committed to two different teams and some overlap. There's Titus and you got to do what you think's best, and you run into that. I would hate to see kids feel like they have to just choose one or the other.
Exactly.
Lee setting it outside, and that nice block thrown up there by the Orioles as they will get started with a good defensive play.
Yeah, you want to come out of the gate strong to show, hey, last set was a fluke. We're going to change it right back around on you.
Block was there. That one may not have made it over the tape, though. James Vang serving for the Orioles. And a kill delivered there off the block by Nicholas Yang Vang. A little hang time there, so the block was just slightly mistimed.
Yeah, that's why as a blocker you always want to jump with the player. You don't want to just watch the ball.
Good up there by Antanavong.
Yeah, we got under.
Yeah, Osseo player couldn't slow his momentum. I think it was Yang.
Yeah, he landed, he was clean, and then just had to take one more step. Couldn't stick the landing, if you will.
Yeah, and that's kind of a safety thing too, that you have to call it for that reason. Back outside they'll come, and dug up there nicely by Jaden Bang. And just a little too strong there from the lefty Chang. Good start here for Osseo in the second set as Tadros will come back in. And that one way too long. Alex Zhang to serve. Off the net, Orioles couldn't quite keep it alive in the bench as Braylon Tao gave it an effort, but
almost took out head coach Stephen Perkins over there.
That's a tough pass to handle.
Back row setter there. Park Center is going to be screaming for that back row attack. Setter went up on that, hit it over. He's a back row player.
Officials are going to discuss. Here's Michelle Chen bringing it to the down officials' attention.
Looked fairly clear to me to be a back row, but if she might be saying that the ball was not fully over the net. Doesn't look like they're going to get an overturned call here.
Explaining it to Michelle right there. And yeah, I think you're right. It had to do with the height of the ball.
Yeah, the entire ball has to be above the net, and if the up ref has ruled that a little bit of the ball was still below the top of the net, then it's a clean play. Soccer player.
And then wide with it, though, is Chang as the foot set there by.
He's just getting warmed up for his soccer match there in a little bit.
Preston Herr the serve again for the Orioles. Lee setting it up on a platter for Calvin Fang to hammer it.
That was a great run. Really strong attack. Got a good amount of air on that. They were able to push the blockers over. He had a one-on-one chance and took advantage of it.
And just a freshman, as the PC fans were chanting after that one.
They make their presence known.
But then a misfire on the serve by Antanabong. So back to serve will be Richard Tao here for Osseo. His team ahead 6-4. They lost the opening set, but have been in the lead throughout the early part of this second. Tao, a nice dig. Oh, Park Center, a little miscommunication, just reacted late, but got it over. And that one misfiring toward the corner there was Tadros. Peyton Zhang to serve. Quite a few seniors on this Park Center team, so first season of varsity ball, but they will be losing quite a few of these guys after this year.
Yeah, a lot of juniors and seniors on both squads. It's one of those, may not be fully experienced team, but an older team.
Double contact there on Osseo. We are even up at 6. Zhang with a rocket, and it's good. It's an ace. Pirates grab the lead for the first time.
Wow, good serve. Good call.
That one he mishits a little bit, though, and looking for the other corner. Doesn't get it. 7-7. Jaden Vang back to the service line here for Osseo. Koo didn't get that pass up very high, and then teammate was kind of spinning his wheels there, slipped on the floor, and just kind of looked like a cartoon character getting the feet running but not going anywhere. Well, that's right there, trying to get himself settled was Peyton Zhang.
Good swing to keep it in there.
Yeah, good tough angle to cut that one. And come back to the right side. Oh, that one was going to be out, but Zhang played it. As Hardy able to score it for Osseo on a ball that looked like it was headed out.
Yeah, every time he's been getting the ball, he's been looking to put a swing on it. I really like that, especially that ball that was wide outside the net. He still was able to get a swing on when most players would probably just pass it over.
Lee attacking that second ball, but kind of mishit it. And smoked home. Orioles getting better with consistency. Lex Yang delivering there, and they're up by 3. And that serve's going to be long. That's one thing they haven't been able to string together enough consistent serving.
I think that might be their biggest lead of the night so far, but exactly right. You know, they've seemed to miss a lot of those deep so far. You know, hopefully if you're Osseo, you're looking to shorten those serves up a bit.
Long Lee serving for Park Center. And block thrown up there by Tayson Kickamsuk. And Osseo getting the serve back here. They'll go up by 2. Raylan Tao to serve for the Orioles. Ooh, short floater, just got to it. Hardy pushing it to the middle there. Lee dropping it back. Hardy, a big swing, and it's good.
Yeah, he's starting to feel it. Like I said, he's looking to put a swing on it every time. If he gets a good ball and is able to swing high, he's going to get a kill more often than not.
Went right over the block that time. Orioles by 3. And make it 4 as Pirates didn't communicate.
I think if you're Park Center here, you might be thinking about a timeout. I wonder if head coach Michelle Chen might be thinking one more. If we don't get this one, I'm going to take it.
Overpass there. Lee trying to keep it alive and then tip to the outside. And the Pirates will end up scoring it. It didn't start out as a very pretty point there for Park Center, but they stayed with it at least and lived to fight again by tipping it over. Austin Koo to serve. That was outside.
That was a strange one. I think that went between the pole and the net.
Yeah, you see Yang end up having to backpedal there. Hardy, another big swing. Pirates, though, stick with it. And nice block by Antanabon. Park Center back to within 1 as Koo will serve. With the hot hand, Hardy, but this one dug up. Rolled to the middle there, and that one, oh, Lee kind of got caught backing up. Tough one. I don't know if it was going to for sure be in even.
Yeah, you think you'd probably rather him go for it than not. Yeah, not sure.
So James Vang to serve for the Orioles, leading it by 2. Cool with a diving save there. And setter dump delivered there by Lee. Pretty good job disguising that one. His team back to within a point.
Yeah, I think that might have been the first time he went over on a set. I think a couple times he kind of did the one-handed dump, but this might have been the first time in the match he's just kind of set it over like that. And you want to save it for when you need it, and that was a good chance.
Off the block, and Osseo able to score the point here, leading it by 2. Lex Yang serving. That'll be wide after the big swing by Alex Zhang and blocked. Zhang, a tough serve, but handled reasonably well there, and then put away by Tadros.
Yeah, so far in the second set, Osseo definitely getting a little bit better offensively. A lot more balls hitting the floor. They're swinging aggressively like they were in the first, but they're going off the hands and they're not going as deep. And they're keeping that aggressiveness, and it's paying off.
They've been able to limit Park Center runs too. They're never, really getting them back on their heels and scoring 3 or 4 in a row. Oops, timing not quite there as Lee trying to set it for Antanabong. Orioles go up by 3 now at 17-14. Preston Herr serving. And it's a great one. They got it over, and Orioles stretching the lead now to 4.
Yeah, that's the kind of serve they've been looking for. Really low to the tape, able to kind of make the receiving team be on. If they're on their heels, it's gonna hurt them.
That one put away by Calvin Fang. Park Center really needed that one. And Tanabong will serve here for Park Center. And put away nicely by Nicholas Yang Vang for Osseo. They're back up by 4.
Well, this one's not over yet, but it looks like we might be having a little bit of a longer match than a 3-setter. So the Titus Lee situation is still developing, I suppose.
Tao with the serve. Nice dig there. Williams trying to attack it, but wipes it out wide. And he knew what Coach O'Neill was going to say and showed the motion that he should have used there.
Yeah, sometimes you go up, especially when you're newer to the sport, you go up and you just kind of do your natural instinct, and then as soon as you do it, you realize, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Zhang serving. Good serve, helped to set that one up. That was actually handled pretty well by the setter on a ball that he had to kind of slowly back into the net and play. The tip is denied as Kekamsuk able to get up and time that one. They don't have much height, but he's one of the guys who can get up there and be a blocker.
Yeah, and it was a good opportunity to be up on that block with the set kind of taking him outside the antenna. And the attacker did a really nice job of keeping it in play, but the block was there to just seal it off.
Ooh, near miss there on an aggressive serve. But Osseo will be first to 20 here as they go up 20-18. Well, good news for them, they get the point, but they also now have Zhang not at the service line anymore, which is something they're glad of, I'm sure. Jaden Vang to serve for the Orioles. And it's too long. Good communication there by Osseo. That was one that at first you're thinking maybe might be in, but then realizing it was not going to be. And Long Lee to serve for the Pirates. They have fought back to within 1. They were down by 4 not too long ago. And that's going to be an ace. Timeout, Osseo.
Yeah, that's another good timeout there. You know, you had the lead, 3-4 point lead, and it's kind of been being chipped away. The Pirates have done a really nice job of just kind of taking it 1 point at a time. And right now it's a tie ball game. It didn't look like that just 5 points ago, like it was going to be like this, and here we are. So if you're Osseo, really want to cut that off, take that timeout, and see if you can shift that momentum back toward you. Also, another volleyball news, the NCAA championship has ended. Long Beach State won the championship in a sweep over UCLA.
So the Orioles trying to get their mojo back here as Park Center has battled back to tie set number 2 up at 20-20. Long lead, a serve. Floater there. Orioles handle it pretty well. That pass, though, is a tough one, and now Park Center into the lead.
Yeah, just set a little bit too tight. I think he just overcompensated for the pass being off the net and tried to push it on there to give their attacker a good chance to put the ball down, but just a little too much, and he couldn't quite get there.
For the first time, you're kind of seeing a little nerves, it seemed like, from Osseo in the second set. They were playing pretty loose and free there for most of the way, but
got the water cleaned up.
And Lee's serve played there by Lex Yang. There was some question whether that was going to be in or not, and he played that ball overhead.
Yeah, you either want to go for it or you want to let it go. You don't want to get caught in the middle because something like that might happen.
Pirates lead it by 2. That one just too long. It looked like Tao was thinking about it, and then he got the word to let it go. So now it's a 1 point lead for Park Center. Braylon Tao, the libero for Osseo to serve. And a misfire there, as I don't think they were quite on the same page there that set. And now we're even up.
Well, I think we thought early on it was going to be a back and forth match. So far, we were proven right, if nothing else.
Tip, great effort to dig it up. Oh, and not a great idea there by Tecumseh.
Yeah, that's a good lesson there in aggressiveness and discipline, right? If you're a blocker, hey, if that ball's there, go get it. But if you have to reach behind you, let it go. Trust your defense to take it.
Off the block, and Peyton Zhang scoring a key point there for Park Center to even us back up.
I think that ball off the block of Preston Hurd kind of got him a little bit by surprise. He maybe could have run over and played it again, but wasn't quite sure where it went.
Austin Koo at the service line for Park Center. Oh, and that's way too long, and Osseo will now have a set point.
He's been pretty good from the service line so far tonight, just not a great time for that serve out. I think he hit that ball a little bit lower than he had wanted to and just kind of hit it over and out.
James Vang to serve here for the Orioles as they try and even things up. And a misfire there by Antanavong, and Osseo will prevail here in the second set, 25-23. So we are evened up. After Park Center took the first, Osseo gets set number 2. The third is on the way next here on CCX.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there. Because connected, we all do better.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
And welcome back to Osseo. The first two sets kind of similar except for in terms of the scoring, but flip-flop from one to the other, where Park Center kind of had the lead for most of the way in set number one and then closed strong to win 25-19. And Osseo, meanwhile, had the lead for a good chunk of the second. Then they fell behind briefly there. It looked like Park Center's rally was going to be enough to get another win, but then the Orioles, it was their turn to really close it out well.
Definitely an exciting match. A little bit of an update. Titus Lee is not on the court, so.
Pirates go up early, so he's their setter, and replaced in that role by the guy who's serving right now, the sophomore Rowan Yangsao. And missed to the outside, no blocker touch on that one as Variance Tao missing, trying to cut it to the outside. And that'll be too strong from Yangsao. So Lex Yang serving for the Orioles. And that ball was good. I think Zhang was expecting that he was going to hear a teammate call it out, and then they really didn't, and by that time it was too late. And go back to the same spot. Hardy looking for the corner, but just too long.
Line judge Andrew Workin fixing the antenna here, a little bit crooked. Line judge wearing a shirt of a line judge.
I thought for a moment he was coming in to say I might have missed that.
Yeah,
one.
I thought so too.
John serving too long. Variance Tao, the serve for Osseo.
Yeah, net there on Osseo.
Interesting to see how it changes the offensive attack for Park Center with Yangsao in their setting. They knew this was coming. As we mentioned earlier, Titus Lee had a soccer game he needed to get to. Off the block and score the kill for Nicholas Yang Bang.
Yeah, good point with Yang Sao taking over for Titus Lee. Obviously they've been practicing together. He should be able to fit himself in there and keep the tempo as close to as possible. So, but what's important there is it's going to be a little bit different. So you want to make sure you do the rest of your game correctly, right? You want to block well, you want to serve well. You might lose a few points with the setter change, so you don't want to give anything else up in the other aspects of your game.
Richard Tao too long with that serve. And sometimes your teammates, kind of unconsciously help you out a little bit, knowing that you're the young guy and the backup coming in, and at least that's, you're hoping for Park Center's sake that
exactly
do that. Peyton Zhang the serve. Here they come to Mikey Williams, but too strong with that one. Didn't quite get on top of that ball. Drove it on a flat plane out. Zhang with a beauty.
Yeah, great toss, great contact, and really just hit it. And Osseo didn't have a lot of a chance unless it was kind of right at him.
And some of the guys who are real aggressive, you can tell that they're still kind of working on it, and it's a little bit hit or miss whether they can, well, one, clear the net, but they get it in the court. But he looks pretty confident he can, well, just as I say that, no, it is him. I was going to say that he can generally put the ball where he wants to at least. And that one did stay in. Orioles thought it was going to be out, but he hits the corner.
You know, I think John thought that was going to be out too.
Yeah, I did too.
A little bit of a miss hit, but that toss spin kind of just brought it back down right in the nick of time.
Tough ball to set there, but they get it done. Now run down nicely by Zhang. And Pirates will get it over. Yang Sao dropping it back and into the net from Peyton Zhang. I don't want to jinx anything, but I will say a combination of a little bit higher ceiling here maybe, and the players doing a pretty good job. Boy, but most of the matches I've seen this spring, there have been a lot of balls hitting things in the ceiling or the basketball courts and stuff. We haven't really seen much of that, if any, tonight.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. You're going to see a lot of different gyms across the state. So.
Ooh. Calvin Fang, one of the best attacks tonight for Park Center. He got all of that.
Really good swing, yeah. Now, to kind of continue on what you were saying is, you know, some gyms, the ceiling's going to be maybe half the height of what we got here tonight. And you got a lot of, you know, obstructions up there like a basketball hoop or a batting cage or another volleyball net or a curtain. And not a lot up there. I mean, there's some beams, but if you really got to hit it up there to get it there. So, good, clean game tonight. Not a lot of obstructions in the way.
And that'll be too strong from Long Lee.
Actually, last week we were at the Maple Grove Wayzata game, and in the second set we even said, hey, the ceiling might be in the running for player of the game. It was so active.
Yeah. And a misfire there by Lee, and it's really kind of one of those things that it's not really much you can do about it. It's not like they're going to retrofit and change their gym around at this point.
The best thing you can do is make it a home court advantage. If you have a low ceiling, get used to playing it and make sure no one else is.
Off the block there, score the kill for Lex Yang, and Osseo clawing back to within a point. Overpass there, and an effort to save it, and a nice job by Peyton Zhang. Gives him a chance anyway. Tipped over there, dug up by Koo. And that one sprayed too long to the corner by Peyton Zhang. I feel like he tried maybe too aggressive there, trying really to hit a small spot where you might want to take a little off that just to make sure you get it in.
Right. Especially coming from the backcourt, you know, you want to make sure you're kind of being aggressive, but not over-aggressive.
And this one put away by Alex Zhang. I think Yang Sao was getting more and more comfortable. That was probably one of his better sets so far.
Yeah, what I've liked what he's done so far is that he's made the simple set. He hasn't tried to make anything that is just kind of outrageous or a crazy athletic play. He's taken the ball, what he's had, and he's just making the simple set.
Koo with the serve. And there's Hardy, kind of the same thing, maybe trying a little too hard to get that a real aggressive attack on a ball that was tough to handle.
Yeah, we talked about him earlier. He's looking to attack the ball every time. That might have been one where he could have thought a little bit better of it, just, you know, set the ball over or tipped aggressively to a spot.
Off the block, and that'll be a point there. Good control by Lex Yang there. He didn't get carried away with that one, just got a nice one-step approach, and the block getting up late. I feel like the block discipline wasn't that good either, though. They were trying too hard to get to a ball that they weren't in position to do. Cross court, but wide with that one is Alex Zhang, and now Osseo tying it back up.
Yeah, you make a good point about block discipline, because you're trying to take up as much space as possible, and sometimes your natural instinct is to reach somewhere where you can't quite get to, and all of a sudden the ball goes off your hands.
Too strong there from Antanabong, and although it looked like a good set, it might have been a case where they weren't exactly on the same page on that set, it looked like.
Yeah, Park Center really wanted a touch on that, but didn't look like anyone saw that.
Short floater there.
Oh, no touch on that.
No. Alex Zhang spraying that one way high and wide. And the Pirates looking a little bit out of sync right now, trailing it by 2. This one is good for Alex Zhang. They went right back to him. Good set by Yang Sao. I think what you said a moment ago was kind of true on that one. Maybe simplify things just a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Dug up, but that one's going to be too far to get to behind the bench there, as Long Lee tried to keep that ball up but sprayed it out to the outside more than he was liking there.
Snuck around the bench to find head coach Michelle Chen's son, Andrew.
Dug up, and another try at it there. Lex Yang, who made that dig. I don't think he was expecting the ball to come backward at him again. He scrambled to see if he could get in position to at least take a last-minute effort at it. But so Alex Zhang to serve. Pirates down by 1. And now even up. Nice dig there by Fang. Cross court, but just wide for Chang, and Osseo up by 1 again. Tao to serve here, variance Tao. Big swing, but too strong there from Fang.
Might have been looking for some hands off the block that just weren't quite there. It's a good aggressive swing, just a little bit too deep.
And then a service error there for Tao. And Tanabong will serve here for Park Center. Back and forth we go. Pirates down by 1. And too strong with that one. Cross court was Tadros. They timed that one up pretty well as he got the pass and then got it back, but couldn't quite hit the corner. And lack of communication there for Osseo as 2 guys reached and then both kind of pulled back, and Pirates go in front.
And I got to figure that out before the serve. Who's going to get that ball?
And that one put away nicely by Yang Vang for the Orioles, and they'll tie it back up. I feel like they've done a better job in serve receive after the first set too. They're getting into their offense on a much more regular basis.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of, even when it's not right, a perfect pass, it's still a good settable pass, and they don't have to worry too much about their setter scrambling all the time.
Score at 4 Osseo there as Kiklamsuk was trying to tip that one over, and I'm not sure if it hit the tape or the blocker, but overpass there, and they keep it going. Come to the middle for Williams, and he'll put it away.
When he's connected, the entire gym has erupted. The Osseo team really seems to take some momentum and feed off of him, and if they can get him going, they could run away with it.
Orioles by 2. He hasn't gotten all that many opportunities, but you can see the one thing he has that you can't coach is height and also some athletic ability there, and he timed that one up and put it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Good decision here by Michelle Chen to kind of just slow the game back down. Hey, they're 2 points. It's starting to get a little late here. Let's see if we can stop the Orioles here from getting too much momentum off of their offense, and see if we can just get the ball back right out of the timeout and just steal the momentum back, honestly.
And you get late in these sets too. You want your players making confident plays, but then again, not trying to, hit the home run, if you will, spectacular, hitting everything right into the very corner, and you have to kind of balance that out.
Right. You don't want to let the game be too bigger than it is in your head. No, it's the same game, whether it's 1-0 or 24-23. The points are worth the same, but they feel a whole lot more.
Richard Tao to serve for the Orioles, leading it by 2. We're even at 1 set apiece. Long run to get to that one. Hardy with the roll shot dug up by Fang. Cross court but wide for Chang. And the Orioles continue their run.
I think if you're Park Center, you're really looking to get Alex Jong back into the front row, get some aggressive swings out of him.
Tao with a good pass there, and now they come to Hardy, and that will score. Or excuse me, not Hardy, Tadros putting that one away.
Yeah, the Orioles looks like they're really starting to feel it. They can smell the end of the set here, and they're trying to go get it. They're not trying to just kind of let the match happen. They want to go get that win.
And I was just in my head thinking that they've been serving a little bit better too, but not that time.
I'm glad you didn't say it.
No,
that would have been on you right there.
Yeah. I guess even thinking it could jinx them
right,
a little bit, but still a good run for them to get up by 3. It was 4, now 3.
Right. You're still feeling pretty good at 21-18.
Peyton Jong to serve. He is giving them some trouble. And a good effort to stay with it for Osseo. They will get it over. Off the block.
What a dig.
Great effort by Tao. But then an overpass hammered home by Kikomsuk.
What an effort on the Osseo side. We have your libero flying acrobatically off the side of the court to get that dig. But credit to Park Center for not just assuming that ball was over. They were right there to just put that ball right away.
Peyton Jong the serve. And this one hammered home by Hardy. And Osseo stoked after that one. They go up by 3 again. Padro serving. Rolled over, but Osseo an opportunity here. Setter dump, works out. Yangsao will score it.
Yeah, if you're Osseo here, you're like, hey, we should have had that, but let's shake it off. We got to get this next one. We can't let Park Center get within one.
Long lead to serve. This was not that well disguised that it should have caught them off guard, I don't think. Cross court with it, but dug up by Zhang. And that's too long. Was there a touch on the ball? I don't think so. So Pirates to within one.
I didn't see a touch, but it felt like if you were wearing orange, you probably felt like you did.
And that'll be in. Osseo, not the kind of play you want to let drop, and tied up now at 22.
Yeah, I'm not sure who was given serving zones over on the Park Center bench, but that's a great spot to serve. You know, you got in that rotation, you have your middle setting up at the right side of the court, and there's a lot of traffic over there. And if you can serve the ball short, you might get your middle kind of caught like a deer in headlights, and he might be in the way of the passer, and the passer might not know what to do. That's kind of exactly what happened. There were a bunch of people in one spot, and no one knew what to do. That's a great serving decision, and it caught Osseo a little bit off guard.
Yeah, it's really, if not the very first, one of the first we've seen serving, to that area.
Yeah, it's been a lot of topspin serves tonight, and a lot of the float serves we've seen have gone to the last third of the court, or unfortunately even further.
So the Pirates, just when it kind of looked like they were really on their heels, fighting back to tie it up here. Short floater there. Score it for Park Center on the block, and then Osseo trying to keep it alive.
I thought Park Center may have gotten away with a net call on that one, too.
I agree. Pirates go up by one. Blocked, and it'll drop in, and Park Center now will have a set point. Well, this one kind of taking a turn, which maybe wouldn't have seen coming.
Yeah, Park Center's done a good job of taking the momentum right back from Osseo.
Ooh, that one's not close.
Maybe the nerves got to him a little bit. You know, that set point feels a little bit heavier on your shoulders when you go back to the serve. You think about it too much, and then you do something. Okay, I gotta dial it back, and then the next thing you know, you dial it back way too much.
Raylan Tao serving for Osseo. The outside and off the block. Score it for Jackson Hardy. We're even at 24.
You know, every time he gets the ball, if he can swing, he's going to. He had the opportunity off the libero set, hit that ball, and just waved it out of bounds.
The tip, and score that one for Alec Zhang. Park Center back in front.
I think Osseo was in the net on that one, but no harm, no foul.
Koo will serve here for Park Center.
Good serve.
Ooh. Handled pretty well, though, by Tao. Ooh, a nice dig there by Richard Tao. Angsao giving it there off the block, and Park Center will take it as Antonavong gets the kill, and the Pirates pull out a 26-24 win after it looked like Osseo had the momentum, and the Pirates come back to get it and now go up 2-1. Set number 4 is on the way next.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
It's been a tight one so far here. Park Center surging ahead to win that third set, and they go up now 2-1, heading into the fourth. It's funny, it was so noisy and so much energy, and then you get, that break between sets, and now everybody's just kind of deep breath, and the gym's back to pretty quiet, and it'll get jacked up again soon, though.
Yeah, a little bit of a reset right here, before the crowd, but also for the teams. You don't want to take too much stock in what just happened. If you're Osseo, you're like, okay, hey, we let that one slip away from us there, but we still have another one to go, right? And then if you're Park Center, you're going to say, hey, we took this one. We're right on the precipice of winning, but we're not there yet. So everyone's got to reset and focus on the fourth.
Osseo will serve to begin the fourth. James Vang. Nice dig there by Vang. Come right side with it there, and Pirates will end up pulling it out.
Yeah, if you're the Park Center coach, Michelle Chen, you're probably pretty happy with stealing. It feels like you probably stole that third set a little bit. You lost your starting setter after the third, and then you were behind late in the third, and then you were able to squeak it out there, 26-24.
Yeah, I felt like the first set, Park Center definitely deserved to win, and Osseo deserved to win the second. But yeah, the third one is maybe you don't. If you're Osseo, especially, you're feeling like, I'm not so sure that we weren't the better team for a good chunk of the set, but they didn't finish it off.
Right, exactly. There's Michelle there feeling, looks like she's feeling pretty good at the moment.
Off to a good start, at least, with a 2-0 lead. Yang Sao missing, though, down the line. Lex Yang will serve here for Osseo, try and see if they can get some momentum going, trailing 2-1. Not that way, though. Now 3-1.
Trading some serve outs.
Alex Zhang at the service line here for the Pirates. And that'll turn into an ace as Tadros mishandling that one. want to oversimplify, but it feels like, who serves consistently is going to have the leg up a little bit maybe in this.
Right, absolutely.
That was a tough one. That one did hit the basketball hoop. Just after we said that in the last set, that hasn't been happening in this gym. That one had a lot of pace on it, and then the ball dug up, but it hit just in the wrong spot right off that hoop.
Yeah, and that's something you have to practice. You have to practice those balls to go off the ceiling. You can't just assume that everything you hit up in the air is going to come down exactly where it would outside. You're going to have to practice, hey, that ball's going to come down a little bit harder sometimes because it's going to ricochet off of something.
Preston Herr, the serve here for the Orioles. Angsal off target with that set as it's way out wide.
Yeah, it looks like he tried pushing that all the way out, and it just didn't quite have the balance and strength on it, that he maybe was a little off balance, and it's caused it to send it over and out of bounds.
And misfire there by Chang. He hasn't been terribly accurate tonight, and an earlier match I saw, he was pretty good.
Yeah, he was really effective. He had a really good shot down the line. I'd like to see him go back to that. And a couple times he's been able to go across. It feels like he just missed a little bit deep. But when he's gone for that right corner on Osseo's backside there, he's been effective.
And Tanavong to serve with his team ahead 6-4. Williams able to get that one over. Oh, that was close, but just long from Chang. So Orioles to within a point, and the serve will be from Richard Tao Jr. Pretty good recovery there after that set was actually over the net. Be an interesting call. It is going to be Park Center's point.
Yeah, I think that's the right call from our vantage point. It looked like that may have hit the antenna. I don't think it did, but it looks like it just kind of went off the Park Center block, and then the attacker just caught it.
Peyton Zhang serving for PC, leading by 2. And not be able to get that one up as Hardy had to dive for that, and then things kind of broke down right from the start on a tough serve. Close, but just long.
I think that one kind of went a little awry on the toss there for Zhang. He a little bit out in front of it, kind of hit the ball a little bit too far behind his head, and then that just kind of caused it to sail deep.
Yep. Wiped off the block there by Fang, an athletic freshman.
Yeah, he's really kind of starting to make his presence known a little bit in the third and now fourth sets.
Long Lee coming in to serve here for the Pirates. They lead it by 3. They're up 2-1. Looking to even their record at 7-7 if they could get a W here tonight. And Chang not getting that pass up. Comes short with it here, and we'll score it again as that went off the antenna on the pass. And Osseo has had a little trouble with a couple of these serves. Timeout taken by Coach O'Neill on the Osseo side.
Yeah, you don't want to have to take a timeout this early, but you also don't want to let this game get away from you too soon. So good decision here, I think, from Rachel O'Neill to just take that timeout now. rip the Band-Aid off, say, hey, we need to turn it around now if we want to have a shot. Our backs are against the wall. Park Center's got the 2-1 lead. So let's just regroup, keep things simple, keep our passes high, give our setters a chance to get their feet beneath the ball. And when we've been swinging aggressively, we've had success.
Interesting that they're the team that's trailing and took that timeout, but they were the quickest out of the huddle. There was not a lot of strategy talk there. I think it was more like just what you had mentioned.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a motivating timeout, I think. It was like, hey, we know what to do. Maybe raise your voice a little bit and say, let's get ourselves in gear here.
Long lead to serve again here. We'll see if he's still got his rhythm after that timeout. And indeed he does. I think Tao was thinking maybe that ball was going to be long, but then he realized it was too close to let it go. And he was really had kind of overrun that ball by that point.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what happened. He was there to play it, and then it was out, in, I'm not sure. And then by that point, it was too late.
And a misfire here as Lee. It feels like the longer Lee goes up there, he wants to get more and more precise, though, and he missed that one pretty badly.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely trying to hit his spots. Went back to that spot we talked about in the third and just missed.
Oh, a nice recovery there. That first pass was not a good one at all, and the setter Yangsao was caught, and somehow they were able to just kind of get lucky and tip that one over.
Yeah, he tried to dump that over, and the middle just happened to be there to pass it up, and went over and stole that point back.
Rocket serve there, and it's off of Yang and an ace, and now Park Center. Boy, this is maybe the biggest lead that either team's had all night, I think, here.
Yeah,
14-7. Koo is serving. Pirates certainly seem to have the momentum right now, leading at 14-7. Oh, that was close.
Close one. Line judge Andrew working all over that.
Those are the kind, yes, it's out, but that was a great serve, or close to being a great serve anyway.
Yeah, if you're the coach, you say, hey, do it again.
Nice dig there, but Osseo has to scramble. They do get it over, and then a one-hand dig by Sean, and then Pirates colliding.
A little bit of a miscommunication, and a little bit of miscommunication in Koo's own head.
James Vang to serve here for Osseo. They put a couple in a row together. Still down by 5, but starting to chip away. That one is out. Chong spraying it too long, and line judge holding his ground. I like that there. He knew the ball was going to hit him when he just stood there.
That's his line, and he's going to keep it.
Ooh, that one was going to be out, and Zhang didn't get the word in time, and then Lee into the net. Boy, Park Center, just as quick as we were saying, how they really had the momentum. They've kind of unraveled here on these last few points.
Yeah, and you can see Michelle Chen on Park Center just kind of pointing at their mouth and say, hey, open your mouths, call it, help each other out. This is what they did right there. You could hear everyone yelling out on that one.
Yeah, the previous one, I think, was definitely going to be out as well. You'd rather err on the side of playing one because you still got a chance then. But
right. And that one, I think John just got caught. He was starting over on the left side, but had to go over and hit on the right side, and this would happen to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Off the antenna there, a short float serve kind of threw Osseo off balance. And so Yangsao hasn't served much tonight after replacing Titus Liu. Again, if you're just joining us, had to leave for a soccer game after playing the first couple sets. Their regular setter comes short with it again. And this time put away by Lex Yang for the Orioles. Yang back to serve here for Osseo. Tip to the outside and well placed there by Yang Bang.
Yeah, Osseo just chip it away little by little. It was a 7-point deficit. It's down to 3. If you're Park Center, you're probably just thinking, hey, it's a little bit closer than it was. Let's keep the pressure on.
And that one is put away by Antanabong. Yeah, Park Center, I just kind of looking at their face on some of those early ones, it felt like they were starting to think we've got this one. They were kind of getting a little too loose, if you will.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of smiles that were just satisfied rather than just happy for the moment. So hopefully they can turn that around if you're a Park Center fan.
Pirates fans behind us wanted a ball handling error on Osseo as they kind of tossed that one over, but it ends up with a Pirate point anyhow. Alex Zhang with the serve. PC back up by 5 now. And make it 4 as he went for it. Didn't get it.
A little confusion on the Osseo side of who's supposed to be serving right now.
So it'll be Nicholas Yang Bang to serve. No, maybe not. Instead, they're going to come with her.
Yeah, I think they just did a check at the table and got it clarified.
And that one is out. Good decision there by Antanabong with help presumably from the bench there to let that one go. And Osseo doesn't do themselves any favor by giving it back quick.
I think they rushed that serve a little bit. With that confusion of who was going, they kind of ran back there and then felt like they were rushed. They could have taken their time a little bit.
Antanabong with the serve. And almost going to be too long there. Then the Pirates collide, but up high, and that ball is good. Good control by Alex Zhang there on a scramble. Two teammates nearly smashed into each other at high speed, and he still didn't let it bother him and puts that one away.
Yeah, what I really like about that is he made the dig himself and then stayed engaged in the play to get that attack.
Bumped over here by Tadros. And too strong that time for Fang.
Yeah, I think he just broad jumped a little bit too much in front of it. The ball got behind his head and just couldn't keep it down.
Yang Bang to serve here for Osseo again. Their team down by 5 though. And that one blocked. Orioles sticking around.
Yeah, this one's not quite over yet.
And that one was in, and Osseo getting the momentum here, down by just 3. That one is going to be out. That's what they were thinking they were seeing the last time. And one of Pirates' better servers at the line here now is Peyton Zhang. Would love nothing more than to put together a run and close this thing out. Overpass here. Williams swatting at it. Yangsao will dump it.
Osseo needs to take advantage of this free ball here. And they do.
Yes, Tadros hammering that one home. Park Center not the cleanest passes in that sequence, and it ultimately gave Osseo an opportunity.
Really good swing between the blockers there.
And this one hammered home by Fang. So strong attack for Osseo, answered by a strong attack for the Pirates. They're up by 4. And obviously, if you're Osseo right now, trading points isn't going to get it done anymore.
Right.
Long lead, a serve. And he misses. Braylon Tao to serve for Osseo. Scramble here, Orioles will get it over. And Yangsa will end up winning that point. It wasn't a very good pass. He realized he wasn't really going to be able to set it, so he went up for it and attacked.
Guy, he might be a little young, sophomore, but that was a smart play. It really kind of showed some experience.
Not a very big setter either, but he was able to win that net battle. Cool with the strong serve, but pretty well done on the receive. And this is going to be Osseo's point.
A lot of action at the net there. I don't know if someone was in the net, if the ball got the net, but Osseo ends up with it.
James Vang to serve here for the Orioles. To the outside it'll come, rolled over, great effort, and now see if he can get it over. Yes, Koo did, and then Osseo got a little greedy trying to attack that ball, and swinging, trying to really attack and put it away, and instead sprayed it way too long.
Yeah, I really liked the instinct there to want to just end it, but that wasn't quite in his wheelhouse, and you can see he was talking to his teammates. I should have just blocked that one straight down instead of trying to get a swing on it.
Yang Sao, not even close.
Little donuts under the net on game point.
(24-21). Lex Yang will serve for Osseo. Yangsa over and put away by Intanavarn, and the Pirates will pull out the victory here on the road as they win it in 4, 25-21. Entertaining match. We got a lot of what we thought we would see here tonight, Tyler, and Osseo, to their credit, coming back, taking that second set, played pretty well in the third as well, but Park Center sort of bookended it with pretty strong performances in the first and fourth.
Yeah, close game all around. 6-point deficit was the biggest win of the match, and it really, from the beginning, we were thinking, hey, this is going to be a close one, and we almost went 5. So that it was all the way through. Both teams played well. I thought they both showed their strengths and weaknesses. All around good match.
Osseo will have the other District 279 team coming here this week, as well as they will be hosting Maple Grove. Park Center is at home to take on Elk River. Hope you've enjoyed this one here tonight. A great matchup for Tyler Oman and all of our CCX crew. I'm Jay Wilcox. It's Park Center over Osseo in 4 in boys volleyball.